Well, gonna act for some reason. Okay. Acts chapter 16, verses 16 to 40 talk about Paul and Silas. They got arrested. They've been beaten. They've been put in shackles, put into uh, prison. In verses 25, it talks about that they did praises unto God as well. So they've been through all this long stream and everything. Um, I like to point out some things about Acts chapter 16 through 24. We all actually spiritually has been eaten. Some of us spiritually has been like like in in um in jail. There's this holding cell, and it's where um the cops or the guards will put you until you see a judge, for the judge to know where they're gonna put you. If you're gonna be in jail, or what the bond is gonna be for you to get out. And beyond that, some of them go straight from that holding cell to prison, but beyond that, you got the jail cells. And then beyond the jail cells, we got the prison. But some of us is spiritually in a holding cell, while others is spiritually in a jail cells, while others spiritually is in prison. Each one of us has got a different level of it's like prison. There's different levels of prisons that each person gets put into. Some of the levels that they have um, is worse than others. We um like some of us spiritually is a prisoner to um to anger. Some of us are spiritually a prisoner um to finances. Some of us is a prisoner to not holding down a job. Some of us is even a prisoner too of not wanting to leave the house. Depending where you are at, or to be a prisoner in your spiritual walk. Through each one of these, whichever one is causing, wherever we are at, doesn't matter if it's a spiritual holding cell, if it's a spiritual jail cell, or if it's a spiritual prison cell. No matter where we are at in our life with our spiritual walk, that we can that we would be stuck, and we can do what Paul and Silas did in verse 25 and still give God praise for where we are at, because it could be so much worse. Some of us has got one job. Can't speak for much for the other countries, but here in the United States, we do complain about having one job and it being a crappy pay, and we always want to look for that higher pay. I can see where you're getting from, but there's countries out there who the little kids as young as 5 years old goes out and has to work in the field. They can't go to school. They ain't getting their education. They literally have to work in the field, and they have to pay them kids their ages of the job, and that's what the money for the and they take that money and the parents use that money that the child makes. You got other countries that's earning a living for their kids, but they have to have about 2 or 3 jobs. Like some of the countries that I've been to one country before in the past, and in order for them to buy like an Xbox, for an example, if they buy an Xbox, they have to literally save their money for that Xbox because it goes out it goes out of their whole month's check. If they get like 2 checks in 1 month because they got 2 jobs, it's because they have so much, because the bills are so high. But in order for them to buy game systems for their kids, when their kids want a game system, they literally have to take the money and put it on uh, take the money by and putting it on game system by saving the money up. And I know some of us here in the United States would have to do it, but not all of it. Half of us has to do it, another half don't. But in this particular country, if you they if you would go to this one country and you would have one job and you want a game system, the only way you can pay for this game system if you literally have no extra money to put on bills. Your bills will get far behind, and then you're going to have to catch up on bills. You're going to have to get a second job. So there's people out there that's worse than us. And if you play your cards just right, you can do your job properly. You can do what you need to do, and you wouldn't be stuck in a spiritual finance. Some of us is stuck in a spiritual prison because God hasn't put us there, but we put ourselves there. And some of us are stuck there because we're trying to break a cycle that carried on from generation to generation to generation. We're trying to break that cycle. And and the best thing for us to do is to praise God through it. He'll see us through it. God always sees us through it. And it's not a bad thing that we're going forth and God's seeing us through it. But it could, but this spiritual prison that we got stuck into, we can break it. We can get out. God is there with us. God was there with us before we entered it before we enter the spiritual holding cell. So as we go forward and go out, God is seeing us go in it. God is seeing us going through it. God is seeing us exiting out of it. So we just have to keep going forth and getting up and yes, we need the determination, but we also need God's help. We also need to ask God to help us get through it, help us get to the spot where He wants us at. I did not read the scriptures because Psalm 16 through 40 is actually got a lot of information. It's very long, and I got some dissecting to do on some of the verses that's over in my bag. I also got to put my clothes up as well. So I got them things to get done. But every single one of us needs to figure out what's causing us to be in the state of mind we're at. It doesn't matter if it's frustration, anger, uh, not sleeping good at night. Because sometimes when we ain't sleeping good, our minds ain't shutting off for some strange reason. So we gotta get that to shut off. We also gotta do these different things in order to get us to be more about ourselves. So, with that being said, yes, I admitted that I gotta go do some dissecting some Bible verse. I gotta put some clothes away. After this video, I got one more video I'm gonna post today, and it's about my grainy look. And then I'm gonna go put clothes away. Then I'm going to dissect some verses on top of that. So I'll see you guys next video. I'll see you guys in the next video on that. So, and I hope you guys enjoy this little bit. So, see ya. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not sure if y'all did or not. So, I guess I'll be seeing ya.